Bon après-midi, il est temps de boire un verre de vin. Pour moi, un verre de vin rouge. And this one is again from the Dornfelder from Austria. And it's a lovely way to wind down at the end of a long hump day. So grab whatever is cozy, comfortable, convenient, and tasty, and take a sip and wind down with me. Just come in, take a sip. Let's wind down and do The Guardian quick, which is today number 17/12. So, speaking of that, wouldn't James Bond's title have been better 007? I don't know. 00. It's not really two O's, is it? You know, I don't know. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't even really ever thought about it, to be honest with you. I blush to say. All right, so our quick crossword 1712. Oh, don't move the mouse. Just carefully do this. You've done it before, Christopher. You got this. Greek tragedy 7 and 3. Ooh. Well, let's go down. Greek letter 5. Ooh. Oh, I can think of a couple. But namingly, I can think of the Omega. Speaking of James Bond, it's kind of nice about the Guardian. I always have something that reminds me of the Bond. A year, 3 and 5. Oh, that might be something. So let's go with per annum. Might be something. And that tells me that this, well, it could also be theta, couldn't it? I think we got an A down here for sure. So feeling of discomfort 4. How about an ache? All right. So then what do we got here? Greek money formerly, and they spent the drachma. All right. And let's see. Small and weak. Could be puny. And this looks like Oedipus Rex, doesn't it? Let's see if this is an S. Academic term. How about a semester? Now I got to remember how to spell Oedipus Rex. So call up could be to evoke, which is clever. So I think OED, maybe an IPUSREX. That is a tragedy, but that Oedipus gives us the Omega, which makes me happy. We are a very cliquish group of watch people. And you could be from separate political sides of life, you know. It doesn't make any difference who you are. You could be some burly tough guy that rides bikes and likes Omega for the manly side of it, or some cool Navy diver, or something like a Navy SEAL, or some of your special warfare operators in the UK. Or you could be some academic word nerd, you know, person like me, and nevertheless all be completely in a club. We're just Omega people, right? Man, I don't know if you can see when you're looking at the screens around me, they're mostly watches, right? You know, I got an antique pocket watch over here, I've got a Seamaster there, and behind the screen in front of me is actually a Panerai, which is another favorite of mine that I own and I love very much. So let's see, a Colonel. Okay, that's gonna take some thought. Elliptical shape, I'm going with an oval on that one. Surgical knife, 6 letters. We're not gonna fit a scalpel in there no matter what, so I guess we'll go with a Lancet. And it probably not too fair that I am a healthcare administrator, so kind of familiar to a degree. Colonel. No, I bet you anything I'm not going to think of this, whatever this is. It will be something I know, though. Colonel. So just a small piece, a small something. So maybe, I mean, I guess it could be like a, I don't know what it could be yet. But we're going to figure that out, maybe. Or we're going to reveal it because, again, it's just not part of the normal vernacular at all. Safety equipment for a biker, say 5 and 6. And I don't know about some of you, but for me, I fill letters in my head, and Now, what I like about the crossword, the quick crossword, is that it tells you how many letters per word. I got two words here, 5 and 6 letters each, and I'm just seeing crash helmet. So I can put that in and hope I'm right. Right. Is there anything else to do? Parlor game, 8. And, I don't know what it is about this, but it seems like no matter what century you live in, you're playing charades. Bragged, 6 letters, maybe crowed. I was texting Neil, our friend Neil up here. He's a member of our community. He's recently started commenting and taking part in our grid work, and he was mentioning that he had just been in Hamburg watching Regensburg play the team in a footy match. And with that conversation with him, I learned what a footy match was, because I never even heard of that before. And so these are just wonderful terms that I'm learning, and everything that I'm learning from just doing this Guardian Quick. And then, of course, the beatings I'm taking on those Sunday everymans, but I'm really enjoying it, right? And so it never hurts me if I get something wrong somewhere. I just don't care. I mean, I'm fine, I am just fine with it, because I'm here to learn, not to show how great I am or whatever. That is the least of my desires, I promise you. So huge at 5 letters. Squad could be a team. So this maybe is a jumbo to me. And this, I was wondering what this performing tricks was going to be at 7 letters, but it looks like this is going to be conjure, which is quite clever too. Again, not something that normally just comes out of one's mouth, right? Mess. Well, I've served, when I was in the army, I served for a bit in England with the Royal Wessex Yeomanry down in Portsmouth and Dorset. And I know we had officers mess sometimes in the field, and beautiful white cloth tents would come out, and of course we're always in our mess dress uniforms. It was really quite a thing. We'd never do that in the United States Army. We don't wear mess dress uniforms unless it's a formal occasion. When I was with the Royal Wessex Yeomanry, it was every time you wanted to go to the officers' mess to eat at any time of day, you were going to be in mess dress. It was crazy, and I liked it. So an impasse. So we got 8 letters. So I'm assuming, first of all, 7 and 2 letters would give us dead end. So I'm assuming this would be a deadlock, and I don't know what else it could be starting with a D. And that's all just presuming that charades is correct, but this is how my mind works. So travelers who followed a star. Incidentally, we Yanks and you Brits have a poet in common that we can both claim, and that's Thomas Stearns Eliot. I think Sir Thomas, Sir T.S. Eliot. I think he was knighted. I could be wrong. I better check on that, but I do believe he was. I know he really wanted that. But he became a British citizen later in life. But my favorite poem of all time comes from I can't even call him an Anglo-American. I guess he'd be an American Anglo. I don't know. But it comes from our shared poet. So I'm just going to call him Sir Thomas Stearns Eliot. So, Sir T.S., Sir Tom. I've seen Tom and Viv, I'm sorry. Schmaltzy. The only thing I can think of here would be Modelin. Or, in English, Maudlin. Prickly seed case sounds like a burr. It's also the subject of a great little saying we have in the United States. Well, I guess he's got a burr under his saddle. Yeah, well, I guess that wouldn't be too comfortable for the horse, would it? Fast car, fast driver, probably a racer. And yeah, I don't know, mess. I guess this might be maybe a dog's dinner. Seems pretty straightforward to me. So no real shock or awe there, but this one up here, I'm a colonel. I'm afraid that if I reveal it, I'm going to be immediately disappointed in myself. But what I can at least do, since this is always learning for me, is I can do a check all to see what I may or may not have wrong or right. And what I think is a feather in my cap is that I don't have any wrong, but I don't have any in this as of yet. So let's go and get a mouse in there and let's see if we can finish this up or not. So a kernel. I keep wanting to say like an aspect, but it's really more about an understanding, right? You know, the kernel of one's point, the gravamen of the argument, so to speak. Essence. Okay. All right. I am so glad I didn't reveal that. And now I got to see if I got it wrong, though, because I probably did, but I don't know. I hope I got it right because this is really cool if I did. Confirm. Nice. All right. Okay. This is not even a handful of times that I've been able to do this. So I am actually very proud of myself right now. And I had a case of the hiccups before we started, and I think this absolutely cured it. Yes, I'm beaming. Yeah, you can always see when it's a real laugh on my face. This is a real smile of happiness. This is wonderful. Oh my, I want to almost print this out and frame it, but we're going to go ahead and respectfully toss it on out of here. And then we'll bring down our Ancien d'Adieu. And like my friend Neil and others, Clill Benton, HWOW, who got me doing this to begin with. I mean, just sent me a note 3 or 4 months ago and said, hey, you should check out The Guardian quick. And he'd been watching us and you know, participating in the community with the New York Times Crossword, which is like the anchor of this channel. But, you know, he just made the comment and I said, yeah, I'll check it out. But I never really got around to checking it out. And then all of a sudden I realized I really need to check that out. So I spent a day or two reading about The Guardian, and I found out how difficult it could really be. I did about a week's worth before starting it here for the channel and getting an account so that I could keep track and know what my work was. And I got to say to those two, Neil and Clill Benton HWOW, let me thank you so much for not only participating, but for helping me so much. And everyone else who's chimed in and given me the answers to something or shown me where I erred or whatnot, or given me a little path to success, like Neil just recently did on teaching me how to take an everyman crossword and really start to just try to build anagrams out of these things, because it's not just going to point, you know, you the way. It's not going to just hold your hand on the journey. So that's what that is. But as the Ancien d'Adieu says, until next time we see you Thursday for all of our grids, ich wünsche Ihnen einen schönen Tag noch. Auf Wiedersehen, tschüss, servus, grüß Gott, ciao, Cin-Cin, be well. Be well to yourselves, be well to your neighbors, and be especially kind to the person behind you in the queue. And we will see you tomorrow. Be safe out there, my friends.